What's going on, guys? This is Matt and Greg with Project Unbroken. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, and please share this video with anybody that you think it might help. Today, we wanted to talk about 5 ways to stay motivated, all right? We got 2019 coming up. It's a big time to start thinking about goals. It's a big time to think about, making changes in your life. And to do that, whether you're, coming out of an addiction or going into a maintenance program or just, coming out of any bad situation in life, you're not always going to be motivated to make the right decision, make the right choice. Greg and I came up with, 5 different ways or important things that we feel like we use on a regular basis and that we use coming out of our addiction to stay motivated and to reach our goals. You want to start the list off?
Yeah, so number 1 is an ultra strong reason why, or multiple ultra strong reasons why. Now, when I started wanting to come off heroin, I got really sick of withdrawal. I mean, that was the first thing that I got really sick of. I hate withdrawal. Even when I get sick now, it just makes me cringe because I remember the withdrawal. So I really do not like withdrawal. Most people don't, but sometimes that's not enough. So that got me kind of on the path to start, kind of where I'd quit for a little bit and I'd come back because I'd forget. Really quickly, we tend to forget why we quit. So you got to remember why you quit as well, but that's another topic. So then the second part for me, for the ultra strong emotion, was when I found out my son was on the way. By that time I was on methadone, and that's where the kind of an ultra strong emotion came in of love. And I was like, I'm not going to put my son through this. I don't want him to see me coming, off of, or being on methadone, going to the clinic. So that was kind of number 2. I hated the withdrawal. I loved my son already, so those were the kind of 2 big things for me.
Like Greg said, ultra strong reason or an ultra strong emotion is going to be huge for this. Like for me, my biggest reason or emotion or why is I wanted to go back to my old self. I just wanted to feel like I felt before substance abuse. And that was a really good motivator for me to, just turn the leaf and start fresh. But you need some sort of deep down reason why that you want this to happen. It's almost like a North Star for you to follow, because you're gonna forget, you're gonna lose the motivation. You need to have that deep reason why it's gonna be important.
This isn't something where you can just be like, I think I'm gonna quit. I think I'm done. We tried that many times and it never worked.
Doesn't work. You got to find that deep reason, and that's going to help steer you in the right direction. When times get tough, where your weakness creeps into your life, you got to have that why.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the list.
Expectations.
Yeah.
So for me, expectations is big because I think a lot of people, they get the plan in their head to quit, and they don't really have expectations, and then they get to a point where maybe it's a little difficult, some difficult times come up, and they just kind of give in, right? So your expectations, I think, kind of falls in line with, you can't expect it to be easy. You gotta expect some difficult times and be prepared to go through those difficult times.
And you have to have high expectations for yourself. It was really big for me to envision where I wanted my life to be. Like I, now have a 7-figure business. I have, a home that I really love. My family's what I want it to be. These are all things that I looked at in my addiction, and I was like, yeah, I want those for myself. I set those expectations for me to get there. And there's a lot of practices you can do with this, or exercises you can do for this. Dream boards are a really big one. They sound crazy, but it's really nice to have something visual that you can see, whether it's like a dream house or a car or a family or a situation that you want to be in. Set those up so you can see them on a daily basis. And again, it's kind of a good reminder, A, of the expectations that you have for yourself, and B, of what you have to gain by sticking to your guns and staying motivated and trying to reach your goals.
Yeah, just a side tip for me that's worked really well is, like, for example, when I got into exercise, I had a vision of where I wanted to be, but also day to day I didn't look too far ahead to my vision. So what I mean is, like, when I'm in bed and I'm laying down, I don't feel like getting up, I'm not thinking about, oh my God, I have so much work to do before I get to where I want to be. I'm thinking, okay, I just got to get out of bed right now, okay? So I got to get out of bed, I got to get dressed. So I focus my next vision day by day, very short term, okay? I keep my long-term vision in my mind, but my day-to-day vision is, what's the next step? I just got to get out of bed, because if I'm thinking about the workout I got to do while I'm laying in bed, I'm going to be like, I don't want to do that. But once you get up and you get dressed now, it's like, all right, I'm just going to get my coffee. Once I get my coffee in me, I'm like, all right, I just got to get to the gym. Once I get to the gym, I'm fine. So a big thing that's helped my success is having that long-term vision in mind, but not thinking about that necessarily as you're in like a time where you don't want to do something. You think more of the short-term vision in those times.
And I think that brings us right into our next tip for motivation, which is progress. And what Greg was saying is huge. You need to make sure that you're counting in all the little stuff that's going day to day and keeping you on track. Don't necessarily worry about the big picture a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. You want to have that stuff. That's dream board stuff right there. You need to give yourself credit for the day-to-day decisions that you're checking off every day. So think about progress. Get a calendar. Every day you stay clean, check it off. Every day you go to the gym, check it off. Every day you eat better, check it off. It's a brick every day in the wall that you're just getting stronger in your recovery, in your mental state, well-being. All that stuff gets better day by day. You have to give yourself credit for the little wins, and that's progress. I mean, that's the stuff. That's where you start to feel good. Yeah. When you look back and you're like, damn, I made it a week. Damn, I made it a month. Damn, it's been a year, 5 years, 10 years. Then when you look around you, you'll see that your whole life has changed. But if you just focus on the day-to-day wins, that's where you really find success.
Love that. I think you covered that well. So why don't you take number 4 as well?
Gratitude is huge. This is something that I found when I was coming out of my recovery, struggling with some anxiety and depression and, all the normal things that come along with it. But when I started practicing gratitude, my whole frame of mind shifted. So instead of waking up and being like, I got a court date, or I got to go pick up my prescription, or I have all these negative things on my plate. What I started to do is wake up and I would list out, literally write down 3 things that I was grateful for. That completely shifted my focus from all the negatives in my life to all the positives. Then you start looking at all the things that you have in your corner, and you realize like you're okay. You have more than you think you might have. Things aren't as bad as they may seem. This really starts to shift everything into a positive frame, and you start making better decisions because of that. You're not focused on the negative. You're not operating off of a system of fear, but more of a system of love. You got some things in your corner that are going to help you find success.
Yeah, I had the worst day the other day. My water pressure was really low, and I called out the water guy, and he's like checking my water pressure. He's like, dude, he's like, we need to fix this. Like, this is about to blow. Like, my water pressure was off the charts. He's like, this could have like blown up and exploded and like flooded your house. So he's like, I got some more bad news. Your hot water heater is also leaking. So it was like $4 or $5 grand thing to fix, right? So then he's like, I gotta get out immediately. So the next morning he comes out, and I go out to work at Starbucks. On the way, I freaking popped my tire. Brand new tires, just got them a week ago. And I ran over a piece of a guardrail. So I'm driving to the place because it's stuck in there. So I was able to drive, and I was going to go get my tire changed. And on the way, I hear the thing. So the thing falls out. So now I got to freaking call a tow truck. So I'm on the side of the road for 2 hours calling a tow truck. But I was like, you know what? I could be so much more. I have a car to drive. You know what I mean? This water bill that I'm about to get for this hot water heater and the pressure thing, it's going to be $4 or $5 grand, but I can afford it. So always try to look at the positive things. Always be thankful for what you have, and that's really big. So my wife was like, "Man, like you're not in a bad mood," and I was like, "Nah." I was like, "I'm good. I get to go home to my family. Yeah, it's an off day. It's going to happen, but you really got to change your mindset and make sure you're thankful for what you have. Like I have my health. I have all my arms and legs. I can see. I can hear. We live in a first world country. Like you got always look at the positives, and I think that's part of gratitude as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And it'll just shift your focus. You'll start seeing that day to day and all the good, and you'll start to ignore the negative stuff in your life because you realize it's not helping you out at all anyways. Yep. Number 5, daily environment. Now this is one we talk about a lot. This is the scenarios that you find yourself in day to day, who you surround yourself with, what your workspace or just environment, how you clean up, how you organize yourself. It has a lot to do with how your mind works. If your desk is all cluttered and messy, it gets into your head a little bit and screws you up. If you're surrounded by negative people, you're gonna feed off that energy and it's gonna be bad. But on the flip side, if you surround yourself with positive people, you have a nice, clean working environment, you take care of your stuff, it just puts your whole mindset into a different zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely huge. If you have negative people around you, they are going to bring you down. There's some people in my life where I've given them advice, they have people they have to deal with. I'm like, you have to just cut them out as much as you can. Like, just talk to them through text, or you got to cut out those type of people as much as you can. Sometimes we have people in our life that we have to deal with for certain reasons. You just have to limit the communication as much as possible and just talk to your positive people, be around your positive influences as much as you can.
Yeah, you have to realize that there's, what we call vampires out there that'll just suck the life out of you. I mean, it's just negativity. They'll drag you down. You'll feel worse after a 5-minute conversation with them than you would even think.
Yep.
You got to try to surround yourself with positive people who are bringing you up, bringing positive energy around. It's really important. All of us, to some extent, are just empaths, meaning we feed off of the energy that others bring us. And you have to do your best to kind of navigate, stay away from the negative, and keep the whole thing positive.
Yeah, so those are our 5 things. We've got ultra strong reason why, your expectations, your progress, your gratitude, and then your environment.
Stick to it, guys. Again, New Year's right around the corner. We should all have big goals and expectations set out for ourselves. Use these tips to help stay motivated. Again, when times are tough or you don't have the motivation that you want, look back at this list, try to dig in there and see if anything works for you.
So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share. If there's anything else you want to see from us, let us know. We're constantly looking for ideas and what people are looking for. So we'll see y'all soon.
See you guys.